Today I'm going to look at faith in atheism and theism because they both take a leap of faith. So as I continue to go through this battle within my own self, I look at the perspectives from both sides of the aisle, atheism versus theism. By no means am I claiming to be some scientist or a physicist or a mathematician. I'm just someone with some discernment and knowledge and wisdom. So let me understand this. Physical reality, which we know is made up of atoms. The deeper we look into these atoms, 99% of their embodiment is empty space. The atoms then themselves are made up of subatomic particles, electrons, neutrons, and protons. And according to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, these subatomic particles are somehow flashing rapidly in and out of existence. Studying these particles on the quantum level turns our normal conception of Newtonian physics on its head. If you think you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics. The originator of quantum theory and Nobel Prize winner Max Planck famously quoted, "All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force which brings the particle of an atom to vibration and holds this most minute solar system of the atom together. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter." It's estimated that the universe is made up of, let's say, about 8, and just keep writing some zeros until your hand gets tired. It's about 84 zeros afterwards. Atoms. These atoms make up the human body with the elements of oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. Around 100 trillion atoms make up one cell in the human body. Coincidentally, or not, 100 trillion cells make up all of our working parts in our biological bodies. Each cell is a complex system or a tiny factory at work, making the clusters of atoms into working parts of our bodies via DNA coding or information.
In 1957, Francis Crick first proposed that chemicals called bases along the spine of the DNA molecule function as alphabetic characters in a written language or digital characters in a machine code. This animation shows how this digital information directs protein synthesis. First, a large protein complex separates the tightly wound strands of the DNA to prepare it to be copied. During this process of transcription, a protein complex called a polymerase produces a single-stranded copy of the original instructions. Here we see this copy, a messenger RNA molecule, being constructed inside the polymerase as individual bases are positioned and added to the growing strand. Now we see the polymerase in action from the outside as it spits out the messenger RNA transcript. Next, this RNA transcript approaches and passes through a molecular machine called the nuclear pore complex, an information recognition device that controls the flow of information in and out of the cell's nucleus. Now we see the genetic assembly instructions on the messenger RNA approaching and arriving at a two-part chemical factory called a ribosome, the site of protein synthesis. As the messenger RNA transcript passes through the ribosome, the process of translation begins. During translation, a mechanical assembly line builds a specifically sequenced chain of amino acids in accord with the instructions on the transcript. These amino acids are transported from other parts of the cell by molecules called transfer RNAs, which link specific sequences of bases to corresponding amino acids. The sequential arrangement of the amino acids determines the type of protein constructed. When the construction of the chain is complete, it is transported to a barrel-shaped machine that helps fold it into the precise shape required to perform its function. After the chain is folded into a protein, it is released into the outer cytoplasm to do its job in the cell.
those DNA codes make up all of our organs in our bodies that, like the cells themselves and reliant on the cellular system, work in a completely separate system at the subconscious level to make your body operate correctly. The coding of this matter makes our organs actually arrange themselves in such a way that they form eyes and ears for you to hear and see this video with. On top of all that, we have a conscious mind, which apparently we really have no clue how that works at all at its real depth. It would be such a mathematical anomaly that all this matter would arrange itself in this precise, perfect order for all this to happen without some directions. If one thing was off along the way, this anomaly of existence wouldn't exist at all. Look around the room you're in. What is the most sophisticated cluster of matter that is there? Is it your TV, your computer, your couch, the house itself? Nope. It would be you. Ironically, everything in that house was formed within the human consciousness, then manifested into reality through engineering to make its physical form. There was intent behind it. There always is. Just like the programming behind making this video so that it is able to be viewed on your screen. There was intent behind that as well. How can we assume that the human existence is not orchestrated in this same manner? Atheism and theism is boiled down to belief. Seeing as neither side has concrete proof of their belief, it is safe to say you then would need to take a leap of faith in either direction, whether it's atheism or in a theism. I know the atheist perspective is just because you don't understand something currently, it doesn't mean that there is a God to fill those gaps. Or science will eventually have the answers to all these deeper questions of like why the Big Bang occurred, or why we have consciousness. However, maybe the next scientific discovery will actually be that there is somewhat of an intelligent programmer behind the design of the universe, and maybe we'll have some sort of proof, some sort of signature that was found everywhere. When you look at the Fibonacci numbers and their making up of the golden ratio, it is shown all throughout our existence. The matter around us makes up perfect geometry everywhere, including ourselves. The human body design is shown to have the golden ratio all throughout it, including the helixes of our own DNA. This golden ratio is the perfect formula for creation found all throughout nature. It's found in flowers, shells, plants, tornadoes, waves, hurricanes, and even on the subatomic level at CERN while smashing atoms. It is also shown fluently in art, architecture, even in stock market trends, and a lot of the makeup of our cosmos. These are just a few examples shown, but are all over if you look for them. The song playing right now is what this ratio actually sounds like. It indicates that this ratio is clearly quite useful in the engineering of creation on many different levels of reality. Science is just another way to explain the deep, profound knowledge found all throughout the Bible. They can coexist. They're completely different from each other. It's a complete false analogy to say otherwise. This divine golden ratio is in fact found all throughout the Bible. In Romans 1:20, 2 chapters in Exodus, and in Genesis. Taking a leap of faith to say God doesn't exist is juvenile and creating a whole new religion, essentially because it's built on a faith of an unknown negative. Atheists live in a state of negativity. Living in this negativity results in a sense of hopelessness amongst a laundry list of other negative emotions and perspectives. Take it from atheist cult leader on YouTube, the amazing atheist's own words.
But why am I who I am inside? Why am I this mean-spirited asshole that just looks at people like they're garbage? Because that's what I am. I don't know if it comes across in my videos, but if I'm like in a social setting and I look at other people, I just see fucking filth. I just look into someone's eyes and I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. Just don't enter my fucking space. I have my little territory, my little bubble that I exist within, and you don't fucking enter that bubble. You stay the fuck out. But I wish I didn't sometimes. I wish sometimes that I saw like a big friendly world full of happy people that I just want to get to know. Because apparently that's what a lot of people see. That's what a lot of people, they go out, they look at a big crowded place where everyone's dancing and having fun, and instead of having my reaction of like, get away, you're horrible, please die, they have the reaction of like, yeah, me too, everyone here is having a good time, that's awesome, this is a great place. I wish I had that, but I don't. The problems in my life are things like, oh shit, I'm supposed to go to this fucking party. How the fuck can I get out of it? And if I can't get out of it, how the fuck do I get through an evening of that stupid, insipid bullshit? You know, I got married the other day. I mean, I haven't had the big ceremony yet, but we had a little private ceremony where we were legally married. Relationship is never easy to maintain after a while. But for some people, they're very easy to get into. For me, they're not easy to get into. There is a long, arduous process. And the process has nothing to do with the person I'm interested in. It has everything to do with me and my inability to talk to people, to be understanding, compassionate, nice. You know, I know I have those failings. I know I'm not the best person to be around. I'm not fun. I mean, you know, anyone who gets with me, if they're into any sort of fun activities, like, even if it's like, let's go play putt-putt golf, I am never fucking game, okay? I am never the kind of person who goes out and has fun of my own volition. If left to my own devices, I would sit in my room, I would go on fucking Tumblr and Facebook and Reddit and whatever else and just fucking zone out and just read news articles about how the world is going to shit, and only go out when I absolutely had to, and I would just hate, sit there in just unfiltered, unmitigated, unabashed hatred of all people.
Clearly, the amazing atheist puts on quite the act for his videos, as most people do the same in their everyday lives. I'm not attacking the man, but clearly he embraces his own darkness, at least for his YouTube viewers, and does not take care of his physical well-being due to his obese appearance. This indicates he uses food as a method to escape from the pain that he's clearly in deep down within himself, and also lacks motivation to exercise. His darkness, which I talked about in my previous video, clearly has overtaken his embodiment. I'm glad to see that he has found a wife. Seems he is starting to find a reason to see his true potential and light that he actually has in himself somewhere. I'm assuming dating has been a difficult task for him due to his extreme negative state of mind.
So Holly, my wife, has sacrificed a lot to be with me. She has sacrificed a lot of what she enjoys in life just so that she can have me as her husband, because a lot of the things that she's gonna want to do in life, I can't do with her. I just can't take it. It's torture for me. And even when I do go along with it and I try, she can tell that I'm on pins and needles the entire time. So she still can't enjoy it. If she wants to enjoy going out and having fun, she has to do it without me. And the fact that she's had to make that kind of sacrifice in her life for me, it doesn't make me feel too good about myself. And that's why I married her. Because I am selfish and in a lot of ways just truly intolerable. And my marrying her is my way of saying to her and to the world that I hope to transcend that. That I aspire to be something more and better than what I am. I need to say to the world that this is the person I love, and I want to spend as long as I conceivably can with them. I don't usually do this kind of video where I talk about my personal life in any sort of detail or talk about what I'm feeling, because it's just not who I am or what I do. But this felt important to me, so. It's just one of those things where you get that fucking urge inside of you where it's like a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, and you gotta just go out there and put your heart on the line. I hope maybe there's someone out there who is like me that maybe got something out of it. Maybe they realize that change, even small change, might be possible, and they don't have to wake up in the morning and feel like I so often feel. Maybe there is a way out.
The way out is easy. If you start to live by the teachings of the historical figure, Jesus Christ, do not hate what you do not know. Don't judge what you have never experienced. Just try it. If you actually tried to strive to live impeccably every day like Jesus was said to have done, then the darkness inside you that you really deep down want to actually escape so you can live a fulfilled life with your wife will go away. Call it God or call it the placebo effect. It works. And it has worked for nearly a third of the world's population for thousands of years. Thanks for watching, and God bless. And if this video moved too quickly for you, just use the pause key.